These are the headlines for the next 1 hour.
News360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal, EcoBank.
Coming up this evening, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's campaign team assures members of Parliament who did not support his flag-bearer bid that there will be no victimization.
And also coming up tonight, Parliament to resume from recess on Tuesday, February 3 to consider major national issues to deepen accountability and its oversight across sectors.
Later in the bulletin, government is racing against time to meet a 2-week ultimatum by cocoa farmers for the settlement of their unpaid funds.
Coming up in business news, Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy blames National Petroleum Authority's upward adjustment of price floor for robbing motorists of lower fuel costs.
On the international front, Nigerian prosecutors filed 57 terrorism-related charges against 9 men accused of carrying out a deadly attack on Yelwata community in Nigeria's central Benue state. We have details of all these stories and more, and we always love to hear from you, so do send us your thoughts on our stories.
In our first story, Parliament will resume from recess on Tuesday, February 3 to consider major national issues to deepen accountability and its oversight across sectors. The return of the Tandai MP, Matthew Nyindam, passage of the 24-hour economy and the legal education reform bills will be some of the highlights as the President delivers the State of the Nation address. A report by Christian Yali.
It gets more intense each time the House is in session because several issues, those expected and surprising ones, shape discussions and debate in the House. Matthew Nyindam would make a dramatic return to the House as Member of Parliament for Pandai after the Supreme Court reinstated him. The House would welcome a yet-to-be-determined member for Ayawaso East. President Mahama will deliver his second State of the Nation address.
I'm proud to say that I have brought an elaborate regulation that gives us a sliding scale agreement. What is the advantage in that? The advantage is that it allows the state to capture the benefit in good times. We've done it across the mineral sector. What is important for investors? It gives them certainty. Certainty. They are very sure that in Ghana, when the price tumbles, we will not be in trouble because the government automatically will reduce royalties. When the prices go up, the government will also take advantage and capture the benefit.
The new legislative instrument on mineral royalties, which pegs a sliding scale regime for the lithium mining agreement, will resume count towards the 21 certain day maturity. Policy document and bills for flagship government programs like the 24-hour economy are expected to be passed, including the legal education reform bill, which has already raised the debate.
The minorities leader's seat at ECOWAS Parliament is not one of those that can be removed. He shall remain until April 2028, when his tenure shall have come to an end.
It is expected that the Privileges Committee will hear the referral of Alexander Fionmakin over his alleged breach of parliamentary privileges over the ECOWAS delegation.
There seems to be a very, very conspicuous silence on this. The attempt by this government, by blocking this bill and blocking it from being featured, is a big disappointment to the people of this country.
For the minority MPs, the reintroduction of the anti-LGBTQ bill is of keen national interest, even as they also push for investigations into the good for reserves losses.
You should expect the first meeting of the second session of the 9th Parliament to be very interesting one to watch, also because the minority has already served notice that they are not going to allow their majority colleagues to rush the passage of critical legislations under certificate of urgency. Now, when they were asked about numbers and how effectively they are going to do that, the minority MPs indicated that they are not going to disclose their strategy. And so, as it were, and as always, this place, Parliament, is going to be an interesting space for you to watch, and also because a lot is going to happen that we have not even listed, or ones that we cannot immediately project or forecast.
Well, this is your Election Command Center. You'd recall that over the weekend we were here to give you comprehensive coverage of the NPP primary, which Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia described as blistering, especially in the latter part of it. Well, still on the NPP, though, the Middle Belt campaign coordinator of Dr. Bawumia's campaign, that is Dr. Ayuefri, has shut down schemes to witch hunt Ashanti region MPs who publicly opposed Dr. Bawumia's 2028 flag bearer bid. He said unity in the party will be a priority, hence there would be no room for witch hunting. William Evans Inkum has more in this report.
A fiercely contested primary which saw the former vice president and 2024 presidential candidate of the opposition MPP back on a ticket. But some MPs opposed his re-election. Now that Bawumia has won, some believe the MPs who campaigned against him in the Ashanti region will pay the price. However, the Middle Belt campaign coordinator of Dr. Bawumia, Dr. Ayuefri, says it is a line that the former vice president and his campaign team will not cross.
Dr. Bawumia would not pursue anything like that. In any case, elections are done locally in the constituencies. So it's for the MPs to justify themselves, and then their constituencies are responsible for that. Dr. Bawumia will not cross that line. And we here too will not cross that line because local issues are local. Presidential one, you can move into somebody's constituency because we are voting for presidential. But when it comes to parliamentary, if you really like the party or say love the party, you leave the local people to do their own thing.
For him, the drop in percentage for Bawumia was as a result of some MPs moving to different camps.
Look at this. The former MP who worked to keep the police station executives, or what you call delegates, their base, he's no more an MP, but he's going to do a different camp. So he's taking those he brought to Dr. Bawumia to a different camp. So there are no more MPs, but the delegates, he made the album. So even if he has lost the majority, he still has some minority that every former MP who made the album but lost the primaries have some number in it. He lost the primaries not because he had zero, but he had a minority vote, and those votes, they listen to him, they are loyal to him. So they about 90% of the 80% of them left, and they took them away.
Away from the Ashanti region, the High Court has ordered the Chief Executive of defunct Menzgold Company Limited, Nana Appiah-Mensah, a.k.a. Nam1, to file his witness statement after he attempted to give oral evidence. Early on, Nam1 told the court that he acquired licenses to operate his gold dealership firm. Nam1 has begun his defense after the Supreme Court dismissed his application to quash the High Court's decision. Lord Asari reports.
In court on Monday, February 2, counsel for Nam1, led by Pa Joy Ikwema Boateng, prayed the court to strike out the application to stay proceedings after informing the court that they had withdrawn their judicial review application at the Supreme Court. He, however, noted that the application appealing the High Court's decision at the Court of Appeal was still pending. The prosecution, led by Senior State Attorney Watkins Adama, did not oppose the prayer, after which the court struck out the application as withdrawn. Continuing with his defense, Nana Appiah-Mensah, while being led by his lawyer, gave his testimony. The ex-Menzgold boss testified that he legitimately acquired operational licenses from the Precious Mineral Marketing Company after applying and passing extensive scrutiny from the body. When asked to produce proof of the availability of the licenses, the embattled Menzgold CEO explained that when given the opportunity, he would produce it at the next adjourned date. Nana Appiah-Mensah further indicated to the court that following the shutdown of Menzgold and Brew Marketing Consults by the Security and Exchange Commission, the Economic and Organized Crime Office took control of their office outlets, affecting the documents which otherwise would have been relied on as evidence to prove his innocence against the charges leveled against him. Presiding Judge Sednam Kwadam then ordered that Nam1 file his witness statement in order to attach all relevant documentary evidence he will rely on in the case. Spokesperson for the aggrieved Menzgold customers, Fred Forson, prayed for a return to the daily trial of the case.
So far, there's no bar at the Supreme Court. The last time we went to court, we withdrew the case. And so we believe that now the High Court here can go ahead with the causes and issue. We only hope that we shall receive or return to the basic trial. At the end of the day, it's our money that we want. And if we're able to settle us, I'm sure the state will take cognizance of that sort of gesture and they will know how to go up around this case. So it's important that he tries as much as possible to begin the process of settling the customs. That is more important.
The case has been adjourned to February 19, with Nam1 expected to file his witness statement by February 9. Lord Idwasari, TV3 News, Accra.
The Volta North Regional Police Command, in an exercise to clamp down on drug trafficking in the region, has arrested 4 suspects in possession of narcotic substances. The arrest was done during 2 separate operations. The first happened when the police intercepted 2 vehicles heading towards Kwando on Thursday, the 29th of January. The drivers, Achreme George, aged 43, and Benjamin Akpado, aged 23, attempted to flee into a nearby bush after spotting a patrol team, but were arrested after a hot pursuit. A search of the vehicle revealed 20 sacks containing 680 parcels of dried leaves suspected to be Indian hemp. The suspects are currently in police custody assisting with investigations, while efforts are underway to track down other persons linked to the consignment. The second operation took place in the early hours of Friday, the 30th of January, when the police, acting on intelligence, stopped a Toyota minibus with registration number GT659219 at Fodome. The vehicle, driven by Etonam Vumaji with Emmanuel Komlaga on board, was headed towards Togo. A search uncovered 18 sacks containing 640 yellow oval parcels of substances suspected to be marijuana. The police say during the operation, a man identified only as Joseph allegedly contacted officers and attempted to offer them 150,000 Ghana cedi bribe, while the suspects themselves also allegedly offered 32,000 Ghana cedis cash. The police officers rejected the offer and proceeded with the arrest. So our conversation this evening is seemed to be an increase in these reports of police officers arresting people with all these parcels suspected to be Indian hemp or marijuana. But what exactly is fueling this particular narrative that we've been seeing in the last few days? Let's speak to Alexander Chumberima. He is the Deputy Director General of the Narcotics Control Authority. Sir, very good evening. Thank you for your time. Hello, Mr. Chumberima. If you can hear me, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, sir.
Right. My first question would be, this is not the first time, especially even in the last month, we've recorded a number of police arrests which suggest an increase in marijuana-related cases, particularly along transit routes. We've seen Volta region, the northern region, parts of central and western region. What, in your estimation, is driving this apparent surge in trafficking and possession of marijuana?
Well, good evening to your viewers and listeners. Yes, it is true that we keep having increased, cases when it comes to possession of narcotics or trading of narcotics or concealment of narcotics in some regions, especially those that you mentioned, the likes of Volta. But the Volta region and those places is known to be one of the hubs of cannabis cultivation. That is fact. And that is why you may be seeing that kind of increase from there. But it's not even just there. Even today, our officers in the, our officers in the Upper East region also arrested a man who was also trying to transport cannabis to Burkina Faso in about 43 parcels of concealed cannabis in different bags were in his possession, and he was arrested as I speak to you. So it is true that we are getting these cases every now and then. But the good thing is that persons who are getting themselves involved are being arrested. We even have a lot of cases whereby even some are being brought from jurisdictions that are, outside the country. For instance, Thailand. As I speak to you, we have other foreign nationals who are trying to, import into the country cannabis from other jurisdictions, from Thailand and among others.
Really?
And once they try, or the good thing is that in each time they do these things, they are arrested.
Right, but have you been able to establish why this is the issue, where there seemed to be an increase? Because irrespective of these arrests, the numbers actually keep increasing, which means there is a demand that these young men are trying to satisfy. Have you been able to establish why this is happening?
The thing is that most of them, their target market is not really, for Ghana. Yes, we have a lot of abuse within the country. That one is a fact. But most of these people who are arrested, the target market is mostly, for instance, those that you see from both regions. They normally, from our records, try to afford them to Nigeria and other countries. The interesting part is those who try to bring them to Ghana. The other foreign nationals who, for instance, some British nationals among others, who have been arrested for trying to import into Ghana cannabis. But the thing is that there are different breeds or types of cannabis.
Right.
So the type that, or the kind of breeds that we may be having in Ghana will not be the type that somebody wants. Okay. And that would be a grounds whereby you may find someone trying to bring some from a different jurisdiction into the country.
Okay.
But like I said, the good thing is that we are always able to arrest them once they try that.
Okay. My final question would be, now, beyond the arrests, what happens? And are there plans to find out, probably go to the root cause of why there seems to be an increase in even the plantation and harvesting of it? Could there be something else we can do with these than to burn them?
Sorry, the last part, I didn't get it.
Could there be any other way of working with these lads who are involved in it than to rather burn the produce that they harvest?
Okay. Yeah, so, well, as you know, we are just about to start, cannabis for medicinal and industrial purpose, processes. Its licenses among others. We are just about to start it. I believe very well that at most, by March first week, we should be, up with every other thing that needs to be made known to Ghanaians. But the thing is that, even with that, we are only permitting, 0.3 THC level plantation and then processing. So anybody who will be doing something beyond this THC level will not be allowed or will not be permitted to grow them in the country. But what we have now, the kind of cannabis that we are planting across the regions that you mentioned earlier are all about the THC level of 0.3.
Okay.
So that is one challenge. But the thing is, we will find a way of trying to make sure that whatever we are about to do will not be overridden by this illegal activity.
Okay.
And that is why when we get them, we don't just put them on the table. I know most people don't like it that way, but that is the best way we can do to prosecute them and make sure that we get them to stop these things by all means that is possible, and not be allowing them to have their way.
All right. Mr. Alexander Chumberima, thank you for making time to speak with us this evening. He is the Deputy Director General of the Narcotics Control Commission, Ghana. Thank you.
In more news tonight, government will soon decentralize the recruitment, posting and sanctioning of teachers from the central government to district assemblies. The Minister of Education, speaking at the 14th Congregation of St. John Bosco College of Education, said the move would strengthen and enhance government efforts to swiftly address staffing needs in schools, particularly in underserved and hard-to-reach communities. Castro Sanyala has more.
The St. John Bosco's College of Education in Avrongo was first established as a junior seminary in 1930. With a current student population of 1,459 and a teaching staff strength of 64, the college continues to produce quality teachers to meet national demand. At the 14th Congregation, The principal, Professor Clement Ayerbila Ali, spoke about the challenges facing the college.
Some of our bungalows, our halls, and our hostels are not yet good at all.
Minister for Education, Haruna Idrisu, said government is working to resolve challenges facing colleges of education, including the payment of the book and research allowances.
Government is processing through the Ministry of Finance the release of 41 million Ghana cedis for your book and research allowance for 2023-2024. We will pay you, and we'll pay you within the next 1 week. I'm sure it's with controller. So I expect that by 9th of February, normal academic work should be restored in all colleges of education throughout.
Haruna Idrisu added that government will review the current centralized teacher recruitment system to strengthen decentralization and enhance efficiency in responding to local education needs.
President Mahama have asked the question that how come that the Kasset District Assembly or the Brungo District Assembly cannot recruit and sanction a teacher, and that we must wait for 2 years to recruit a teacher and sanction that teacher. He wants a reversal of that policy so that we will strengthen the devoluted power of the district assemblies so that recruitment of teachers will now be the primary function of the district assembly.
A total of 581 graduates from the 2023-2024 academic year were awarded degrees in Bachelor of Education programs.
Let's speak to Dr. Peter Partianti. He is the Executive Director of the Institute of Education Studies. Doc, thank you so much for your time. Now, government thinks that there's something wrong with the current centralized teacher recruitment and posting. Shifting this to district assemblies, that's the way to go. Hello, Doc. Dr. Anti, can you hear me? You haven't. Hello, Doc. We are having challenges reaching Dr. Anti. But, Doc, I was asking that decentralizing teacher recruitment and postings, yes, decentralization of teacher postings and recruitment, is this the way to go?
Dr. Anti, can you hear me? No, can you hear me, please?
We are having challenges speaking to Dr. Peter Partianti. As and when we get him, we will continue with this interview.
All right, so while we try to rectify that connection, over 173 female students of Tolon Senior High School have been displaced by a Monday morning fire. 10 of the girls who were shocked by the incident were rushed to the Tolon Hospital for medical attention. Students say they are traumatized by their incident.
Is believed to have started around 6:30 a.m., completely burning the first floor of the girls' dormitory. 173 students have been directly affected by the fire. Personal belongings such as books, school uniforms, mattresses, and chop boxes were completely destroyed. 10 students who lost consciousness were rushed to the Tolon Government Hospital. The timely response of personnel from the Ghana National Fire Service prevented the fire from spreading to the west block of the dormitory. The headmaster of Tolon Senior High School described the incident as unfortunate.
Currently, we have the serious affected ones. There are 127 students. That is the 3 dormitories that are the 3 rooms that are mentioned. There are 127. But if we are going to take into consideration the serious affected one and the other side, we have 173.
The Get Fund administration has since taken up the matter. The Deputy Administrator of GetFund, Alhassan Dandawa, who was on an official visit to Nobisco following a similar fire incident, assured management of immediate action to ensure that students don't lose contact hours.
When William Minister called me and told me College Secondary, something of that caliber had also happened, and it had to do with the girls' dormitory, I asked myself, why girls? Why girls? So that means there's a problem somewhere. it could be the gadgets that they are having. And you know, these little girls, they don't know how to manage the gadgets.
He also called for a fire safety system for school buildings.
Because it's becoming a very big problem. Fire. So that one, I was even discussing it with Minister that we need to now, when we put up buildings, we have to put, for instance, we usually those times we could put up a building that will accommodate 1,200 students in those university hostels. But we sat as a management and decided that, look, when you put it down, when there's fire, it affects all the building. So why don't we divide it into 2 or 3 so that when there's fire, it won't affect everything. So
Northern Regional Minister Ali Adolf Mbordiba, who visited the school, assured of government support. Meanwhile, management of the school has since asked 127 of the most severely affected female students to go home for 1 week. This is the second fire outbreak involving girls' dormitories within 2 weeks in the northern region.
Let's go back to our earlier story on teacher recruitment and posting, and Dr. Peter Pate-Anti joins us. Doc, thank you so much for your time. Now, government is saying that there's something wrong with the current centralized teacher recruitment and is shifting recruitment to posting to district assemblies. I'm asking whether this is the way to go.
Well, thank you very much and good evening. I think that we have practiced the centralized system for years. We still have serious issues with teacher deployment. And because of that, anytime we are even doing recruitment, we have challenges with where we are posting these teachers to, because most of them spend 1 or 2 years within the places that they have been posted to and then would request for transfer to a more urbanized area. So I think that the centralized system have served its purpose, but going forward, I am tempted to align with the proposition by the Minister of Education, by extension the President, that we should try some decentralized system. I would believe that this would first and foremost come with a certain kind of a policy, a brief, so that all stakeholders will understand the rationale, the reason, and the objective for the decentralized system. And I also believe that we can start by piloting this from certain districts that we know have challenges with teacher services, so that we'll be able to see how well we are implementing it in those areas, and then we can move on to expand this to all the districts in the country.
Doc, do you think that district assemblies currently have the capacity and resources to handle this?
That will be one of the biggest challenges of an attempt to implement a decentralized system. Not even about capacity and the system. It's also, you should also look at the political nature of our society, where if you are not careful, a particular district would want to now recruit people, and that might create problems for that particular district. So we will need to have the holistic understanding of how this can be implemented. I have argued in some write-ups about not going full decentralized system. We can do a partial decentralized system where the central authority will have the various districts are undertaking their recruitment process. I think that is a way that we...
All right, Doc, thank you so much for your time. Dr. Peter Pate-Anti, Executive Director, Institute of Education Studies.
Well, on to some other stories this evening. And cocoa farmers in Ghana have given government a 2-week ultimatum to pay their outstanding debt or face their wrath. The farmers, who are facing severe financial distress due to significant payment delays for beans which were supplied during the 2025-2026 season, say they will be compelled to sell to other cocoa purchasing markets.
The unpaid cocoa debt dates back to November 2025, as the Ghana Cocoa Board grapples with a debt exceeding 32 billion Ghana cedis. In October last year, Ghana sets its farm gate price at 58,000 cedis per metric ton, equivalent to about $4,640, representing a 12% increase.
On the basis of the changes that we have affected to the forecast, the government has taken a decision to increase the producer price of cocoa to 3,625 Ghana cedis per bag, or 58,000 Ghana cedis per ton. This simply means that per every bag purchase, the cocoa farmer is getting 400 Ghana cedis additional.
However, available data show international cocoa prices are currently trading at around $4,700 per ton, narrowing margins and complicating Cocoa Board's ability to meet its payment obligations. President of the Ghana National Cocoa Farmers Association, NACOFA, Stevenson Ananeboating, says the delay is worrying.
Cocoa Board did not receive the money he collects from these people every year. That's syndicated loan. That is why this thing had become a problem. And if Cocoa Board and the government cannot stand to buy cocoa any longer, it should let we cocoa farmers aware, because government doesn't have cocoa farm in the country. We cocoa farmers own cocoa farm. Then he come and then he does not tell us anything. And Cocoa Board, who is representing cocoa government on cocoa interventions, are also keeping silent on this issue. In fact, we are very, very aggrieved to that extent, because it's not fair and it's unfair, and it's also going to make this government unpopular.
The association laments that constant engagement with government have yielded no response.
A lot of letters have been written to them and they never reply. So this time round, we have decided not to, write any letter again. Since we write and they will not reply, in fact, it's unfair to us, and we are not prepared to write any letter. But then we are going to take decisions on what we are going to tell the public on Wednesday.
With cocoa prices tumbling on the international market, it remains to be seen how government will overcome this payment hurdle. Grace Hamwajiman, TV3 News, Accra.
You're still watching News 360 on TV3. Stay with us. We have business, sports, and entertainment all coming up.
I love personal charcoal. Why? When there are so many other charcoal toothpicks. That's both charcoal.
competition would otherwise dictate. According to the executive director of SEMSE, Benjamin Nsia, several oil marketing companies were positioned to reduce pump prices for the first pricing window of February 2026. However, these potential savings were neutralized after the NPA adjusted the price floor upwards.
The first pricing window of February has opened with a marginal increase at the pumps. Petrol is now retailing at a floor of 9 cedis 99 pesos per litre, up from 9 cedis 80 pesos, while diesel has jumped to 10 cedis 95 pesos. According to SEMSE, these rates could have been lower if the NPA hadn't adjusted the price floor upwards.
Most of them could have sold price of both petroleum products and both diesel and petrol lesser than what NPA has said, based on where they source their fuel from. Some of them even bought these products at discount. So the price floor, even though will help in a way to sustain the industry, I also think that it is very an effective tool in terms of ensuring that some of these OMCs pass on efficiency to the petroleum end users.
SEMSE notes the timing of the adjustment is particularly sensitive. Data shows international crude oil surged from $63 to nearly $70 in just 48 hours, while the cedi weakened slightly to 10 cedis 98 pesos against the dollar. Benjamin Nsia warns that if these global pressures continue, the current pump prices are only the beginning.
Yes, we've seen that prices have surged, and prices will continue to surge in the second window of February, because if you look at the product market, due to the expectations that there's likely going to be a conflict in Middle East, we've seen product price surging on the international market. In the second window of February 26, prices will increase further, and that means that NPA is going to set a new floor price higher than what has been set for this first window.
The Ghana Stock Exchange has rolled out new listing rules for the equity market, replacing regulations that have been in place for nearly 2 decades. The Ghana Stock Exchange says the new listing rules take effect from today, February 2, 2026.
The rules replace the 2006 listing rules and will apply to all new applications, submissions, filings, and continuing obligations on the exchange from February 2, 2026. In a statement, the GSE said market participants and issuers are being advised to familiarize themselves fully with the new framework. The exchange also announced plans to hold an engagement session to provide guidance and improve understanding of the provisions with the aim of ensuring full compliance. The introduction of the new rules comes after a strong year for the local bourse. The Ghana Stock Exchange ended the 2025 as the second best performing stock market in Africa, posting a return of more than 137% in dollar terms in 2025. Market capitalization also rose sharply, increasing by about 55% from 111 billion cedis at the end of 2024 to 172 billion cedis by the close of December 2025. The exchange says the updated rules are expected to support market growth and strengthen investor confidence.
Now, Aulam Company Limited, based in Tema, has been awarded the Best Cement Distributor by GASEM at the 2025 Award Gala in Kumasi. The company has maintained its top position since 2024.
Having placed second best distributor in 2022 and 2023, this victory reflects Awelam's dedication and hard work over the years. PH World Company Limited and Clemonic Company Limited were the second and third best GASEM cement distributors. Distinguished distributor in community engagement went to Rakoff Construction and Trading Company Limited, and NAC Fairmont Company Limited also won overall best direct customer. 48 distributors and customers received awards during the event, celebrating their contributions to GASEM's continued leadership in the Ghanaian market. Managing Director of Awelam Company Limited, Evans Awelam Atuchem, said the award is not just a performance but commitment from his people.
We thank the Almighty God for making this moment possible. We also want to recognize and thank the management and board of GASM for this recognition. We say thank you so much. We appreciate your continuous innovations and the leadership in the cement industry. All I want to say is let's be united. And I know this year we are going to be united to support the GASM agenda.
The event coincided with the launch of new GASM Super Strong Waterproof Cement. The new product has the benefits to prevent seepage and dampness, protect walls and foundations from moisture damage, and strengthens and extends structural lifespan. The managing director of GASM Cement, Dr. Frank Huber, said they are true to their values of reliability and innovations.
Together with the GASM team, we had a vision. We said before the year's over, we want to have a solution for Ghana. We want to have a product that is technically strong, to really fix dampness in the houses. We want to do it in a way that it's easy to use, and we do it at a very competitive price. So for that reason, I'm very proud to introduce to you the newest GASM invention, our WaterGuard technology, the first waterproof cement in the construction industry.
The commercial manager of GASM Cement, Kwesi Chere, said the commitment and feedback from distributors have shaped who they are today.
You are not just customers. You are collaborators, ambassadors, and the reason we continue to strive for excellence. And your support played a vital role in every milestone we achieved, even in challenging times. Each of you, and collectively, all of you, have continued to our success story.
The chairman of GASM Cement Foundation, Nana Pra Ajinsem VI, reiterated their commitment to develop Ghana.
And that'll be all for the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obodu. We'll bring you updates now from the currency and the commodities market. The deal, which is worth in the region of 10 million euros, sees the 22-year-old centre-back make the switch from Switzerland to Germany following weeks of strong interest from clubs across Europe. Ajete won the double in the 2024-25 season at Basel, clinching the league and cup trophies. This season, Ajete has made 15 appearances in the Swiss Super League, his current market value estimated at 7 million euros, and he has made 7 appearances for the Black Stars so far. Still on other stories, now Ghana international Antoine Semenyo has refused to give up on the Premier League title chase despite Manchester City sharing the spoils with Tottenham Hotspurs on Sunday. Semenyo, who joined the Sky Blues this winter, has hit the ground running, scoring 4 goals in as many matches for the club. Now, the Ghana international was on target when Manchester City played out a 2-2 draw with Spurs in a highly competitive clash, and the draw leaves Manchester City 6 points behind the league leaders Arsenal. But Semenyo remains confident about his outfield's title chances with 14 matches to end the English top flight campaign.
We've got more games, there's 14 games to go, so I mean we're 6 points behind and it's not the end, so we just need to keep going. Anything can happen. I mean, like I said, 14 games to go, so they might lose at the top a couple of games and we might win, and the dynamic changes, so just have to wait and see.
Now, Mediama SC's 17-game unbeaten streak in the Premier League came to a halt on Friday afternoon after a 2-1 defeat to Nations FC at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex in Abrankase, while Hearts of Oak were held to a goalless draw by Bechem United at the University of Ghana Stadium. But a slip in Pando means Asante Kotoko suffered and missed an opportunity to close the gap on the Premier League summit. My colleague Mutala Yakubu has more in this report.
Action began at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex, where Nations FC hosted league leaders Mediama SC. The Takwa Bay side needed victory to strengthen their grip at the top, while Nations were desperate to move further clear of the relegation zone. Mediama made the perfect start, with Kingsley Braye opening the scoring. However, 2 quick fire goals from defender Razak Simpson turned the game on its head as Nations fought back to secure an impressive 2-1 victory.
After the first goal, definitely we allowed them to take every ball, all the second balls they won. So, and the pressure was too high, and I don't know why, but I mean, this is a game.
Nations coach Frimpong Manso, on the other hand, was delighted to bounce back with maximum points after their defeat to Samatex in week 20.
You can see the atmosphere around the stadium. I think we needed these points, and I think we worked very hard for it. It's not something that came by chance. We worked very hard for the win. Yeah.
Asante Kotoko had the chance to close the gap on Mediama when they traveled to Pando to face Heart of Lions. The Porcupine Warriors, who had not beaten Lions since 2015, hoped to turn their fortunes around, but it was the hosts who dominated, scoring 3 goals, while Kotoko managed just 1 in a 3-1 defeat. Kotoko's head coach Karim Zito described the loss as a missed opportunity in the title race.
This is football for you. I wasn't expecting this score because seriously we prepared well for this game.
Attention then shifted to Heart of Oak, who faced Bechem United at the University of Ghana Stadium. Despite making several changes with fans expecting a strong response, the Phobians delivered a lackluster performance and were held to a goalless draw. Head coach Didi Dramani called for greater urgency from his side.
I think that, for them they will say it's a fair result because right from the onset, we could see that is what they want to do. They stay and go on the breaks. But we could have also lost the game.
For Bechem United and coach Kobina Emisa, it was a valuable point earned through disciplined tactics.
I think you know me. This is not the first time I've seen you. And you were at Mediama Takwa, and you saw we came in with a certain strategy so that we can hold them at least at the point and go.
Elsewhere, Adriana drew with Samatex. Gold Stars defeated All Blacks. Vision shared a 2-2 draw with Dreams. Karela beat Hoho United. Holy Stars edged Brekum Chelsea, and Young Apostles thrashed 11 Wonders. Despite the slip-up, Mediama remained top of the table with 43 points. Gold Stars Adriana and Heart of Folk all follow on 36 points, while Kotoko sit fifth with 35 points. The Porcupines will be aiming to climb the standings when they face Heart of Folk in March Day 22.
That's it for the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Bill Shen. There's more on the bulletin after the break.
To Bad Bunny.
The 68 Grammy Awards delivered big moments and bigger wins.
It goes to...
The Grammy goes to...
And the Grammy goes to...
Kendrick Lamar! Lady Gaga!
Kendrick Lamar dominated with 5 trophies, but the night's top honor slipped away. Album of the Year went to Bad Bunny. Kendrick Lamar claims 5 Grammys, including Record of the Year for Luther, his duet with Tsar, and Best Rap Album for GNX. It's the second straight year he's the night's biggest winner.
Every time I tell you this, hip-hop is going to always be right here. We're going to be in these suits, we're going to be looking good, we're going to be having our folks with us, we're going to be having the culture with us. So I appreciate y'all. God is the glory. Love y'all.
But the McKay Prize Album of the Year belongs to Puerto Rican superstar Bad Bunny.
This award to all the people that had to leave their homeland, their country to follow their dreams. The only thing that is more powerful than...
Another standout of the night, South Africa's Tyler, celebrating a milestone on the global stage. Tyler captured his second Grammy, winning Best African Music Performance for Push to Start. She topped a stacked field led by Nigerian heavyweights Burna Boy with Love, Davido's With You featuring Omalay, Ira Star and Wizkid's Gimme That, and Hope Love by Eddie Kenzo and Meron Martin. The category, created to elevate African sounds worldwide, once again showcased Nigeria's influence.
You know, to just be here and to be able to share my music and my culture in places that don't really might not understand me fully. So yeah, I'm just hyped for people to get to know me and listen to the new music, and yeah.
Tyler previously made history in 2024 with Water, the category's inaugural win.
That's it for entertainment. I'm Esiedua Afeni. Over to you, Portia.
Thank you so much, Esiedua. Coming up, international news.
Nigerian prosecutors filed 57 terrorism-related charges on Monday against 9 men accused of carrying out a deadly attack on Yelwata community in Nigeria's central Benue State, June 2025, that killed about 150 people. Benue sits in Nigeria's volatile middle belt, the fault line between the Muslim north and Christian south. Years of violence over land, religion and ethnicity have proved hard for the authorities to rein in. The charges filed at the Federal High Court in Abuja say the defendants held planning meetings, raised funds, procured weapons and mobilized fighters across several states ahead of the June 13 attack, one of the deadliest rural assaults in years. The filing says ringleader Ado Lawal Mohammed, Dono and others met in neighboring Nasarawa State to raise cash, issue orders and recruit fighters. Several defendants are accused of supplying AK-47s, aiding the gunmen or providing safe sites for planning. Palestinians have started to enter the Rafah border crossing between the Gaza Strip and Egypt after it reopened for the movement of people. The crossing has largely been closed since May 2024 when the Gazan side was captured.
Well, that's it for our package this evening. Thank you so much for spending the last hour with us. I am Martin Asiedu-Date.
And I am Portia Gabor, the sports station at 9 p.m. Do join Alfred Okansa at 10 p.m. for Ghana Tonight. Good evening.